Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines 2. Today we are actually going to be doing quite a bit, so we have a few things that we need to pay attention to. Electric is one, that's our huge one. We are over consuming by about 16 megawatts right now. Actually, no, that's like 21 megawatts. And so what this does is this actually puts a burden on the city because we are now having to purchase that electricity through these lines right here. And so we are going to be placing down probably a few coal power plants. Another thing that I want to focus on is garbage management. We are definitely reaching the limits of our poor landfill over here. So we do have a couple different avenues we could take. We could just expand the landfill, or we could expand into another avenue of garbage collection. So we could do the incineration plant, or we could do the recycling center. I'm a big fan of the recycling center. And so I think what we're going to do is increase our footprint for our waste management company over here. And then last but not least, we do need to place a higher education. We do not have any colleges or universities. And if we go into our workplace availability, we can kind of see that we are struggling a bit on this well-educated spectrum. We do still have a pretty decently high unemployment rate. So this is 16%. What this is saying is that we have a mismatch of jobs available. So if we go in here, we can see where these jobs are maxed out. So we need to increase our uneducated jobs, our poorly educated, and our educated. But also by providing an avenue for people to become well educated, what we're going to do is we're going to allow people to get that education and then get better jobs, which is actually going to help to upgrade our homes and stuff like that. So what I'm thinking is we're going to do the college area right here. I think it's going to be a really fun addition. Our city's running pretty good right now. We're not really making a ton of money, and a lot of this has to do with that electricity. And so I think that's the first thing we're going to do. So we're going to come all the way over here. I kind of identified this as our best area for it because we already have the waste management company over here. It felt like it would just be a good addition for us to put this in here. So what we're going to do is level out a portion of land first. We'll come in here. Let's level this out. I want to create a nice safe space for the power plants. So we're going to go ahead and right click right here. We're going to go all the way up to that road, and we're going to create a nice little slant coming down. And the reason we're doing that is because we are going to grab this road, come all the way down, probably about like right there. I want it to kind of butt up to the back of that, and we want to keep that 90-degree angle, but we want to go all the way out to the road. So let's go ahead and check that out. It's going to be a little bit bumpy. I'm just making sure that it's not crazy bumpy. And so I think that looks pretty good. We are going to now go in here. We're going to use the small coal power plants. And the reason we're still using these small coal ones is just for money reasons. The larger ones are very expensive. So we're going to go ahead and I want to put it right there, but what I'm thinking is we're going to do a little parking lot in there. So let's go like this, and then let's put in this. Let's do another one right next to it. Fantastic. And then we can't place that right there. Let's go ahead and check that out. So that looks pretty good. I mean, it's definitely a little bit close to the water over here, but this is something that you probably would see in cities. There would just be some sort of protection, I would imagine, but maybe one of you guys knows a little bit better than I do. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect it all the way back here because I think we're actually going to end up moving back this. We're going to be trimming this around a little bit. So right there, I think that our actually already looks really good. Let's look at our electricity now. So we did definitely bump it up. This is something that we're going to have to pay attention to pretty soon as we expand out the city more. So now let's do the waste management. We're going to go into garbage management, and I'm not a huge fan of the incineration plants. Like I had said before, so we're going to do the recycle center, and the recycle center is pretty expensive. So if we come all the way down here, it's $160,000 a month. This is huge. It would probably be more cost effective to just expand the landfill. But I think this is going to really future-proof us. Like, I think by having the recycle center, it's really going to help us out. And if it's anything like Cities Skylines 1, what's going to happen is this is actually going to move over here. So far, I think that looks fantastic. I think those are really good additions. And those should ideally help our city out quite a bit. We are still receiving quite a bit of government subsidies, but now our service trade is starting to balloon. We definitely need to expand our city. You can see we literally have demand for everything. And so we're going to be getting a little crazy with this. Let's go ahead and pause because we're going to be deleting some stuff, moving things around. I want to first off move our rail line. We're going to go ahead and put it below ground because I think it's going to create a nice effect. We're going to go like this. Let's go ahead and delete this section as well. And I think we may even, we're going to delete this one too. Delete that. And then we are going to need to delete this, and we're going to have to go into our development points and actually unlock highways. We haven't unlocked that yet. So we're going to go like this. Let's go ahead and delete that. Let's delete this. And we are definitely getting a little crazy here. So first off, let's go in here and go to roads. Let's do highways and large roads. Large roads are nice. And then we do need to go in here and unlock trains. And then while we're at it, let's go ahead and unlock colleges too. I think that's ideally all we're going to be messing around with today. It probably would be good for us to do maybe a hospital. I don't think we're big enough for a hospital yet. We already unlocked that, which is good. We got the college. We could do fire watchtowers or helicopter depots. Again, I don't think we're large enough to where it's going to be a must-have. Welfare office would actually be smart. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that while we're in here. We'll worry about other city services as we expand. We already got all of our parks. We could do post-sorting facility. I don't think, you know, we need to leave some stuff for the next episode too. We just unlocked a ton. And so first things first, we need to go in here and redraw in our train lines. We're going to go all the way like this. We're going to connect that up. And then we're actually going to go underground. I want it to be that, man, and that was not straight. Connect this up, go page up, and then go straight. Go down, go all the way down now. So we're going to go like this. Ooh, this is actually going to be very close. We now need to come out this direction, go 180, and we are going to begin to curve this. And we do need to go up a little bit to bypass our freeway that is underground. So we're going to go up just a smidge, go just like this. Let's actually, let's maybe go like this. Yeah, we're going to go like this all the way down. And let's go ahead and line this up. And then we do need to delete this little bit of road. And then now we can go back to that. And then we can begin to kind of curve this up, which is going to be good. Go like that and connect it up. Perfect. Let's go ahead and check that out just to make sure that we didn't get any crazy bumps. I mean, that's definitely not level. So let's, we're going to redraw that in. I think we're going to come from the other direction. I do find that it tends to work better if you come in from the other side. I'm going to go ahead and turn off all my toggling and then line this up. Let's go down. Yeah, you know what? That looks already so much better. Looks a lot better. And I really like the key walls that we get, these like kind of reinforcement walls in there. I think that is a fantastic look. And so before we move on, we do need to reconnect this other side because we had disconnected it. And we're only doing the single track. So we're going to come up this way. Let's go ahead and connect this up. Let's go 180. And then we're going to come all the way down. And we do need to turn this up to 5. Let's go like this. Perfect. And then we can begin to curve this in. Yeah, let's go just like that. Fantastic. Nice. And so that actually provides us a few things. So the main reason I wanted to do that is because of these roads. It now allows us to kind of go across on these roads, which is really good. But then it also provides a really nice look. We're definitely going to be utilizing this with a few different things. We're going to be using it with roads in this area as well. And so now let's go ahead and redraw in this road. This is our main road into the city, and so this would be super important. We're now going to draw this in, and before we do that, we actually need to get rid of these pathways because it's not going to allow us to do it with those. We're going to come in here. Let's go ahead and turn back on toggling. Looks like we got the power line. Let's go ahead and trim these all the way back. I think probably about right there. And then we can actually go underground as well. We're not going to need this connection anymore. So we'll go like that. And then let's connect this connection up with the other side now. So we'll go just like this, grab this, voila, fantastic. And we can actually connect this up now, because those are things that you definitely don't want to forget about. I mean, it's kind of easy as you're building to just get ahead of yourself. And next thing you know, you're like, why is my city dying? And then you find out that you didn't reconnect your power lines, which is not great. So we are going to now bring this out, and we want to come out at a 90. I think that's probably good. And I want to curve this up so that it's going to line up with this, but I want it to go underground. So we are actually going to grab this, go at a 90. I think that's probably good, but we are going to go down. Yeah, I think this is good. And then we are going to continue going down, or not going down, staying straight. But let's begin to curve it now. So we're going to come all the way out here till we get those dots. Go just like that. Fantastic. And it looks like, so if we grab this, let's maybe go up now. Go like that. And let's come in from the other direction. I think that is probably good. Let's see. Let's make sure we didn't get any sort of crazy bumps. We didn't. I mean, this is a very hilly terrain, so we're definitely going to have a little bit of bumps in here. But I think that looks pretty good overall. And now we just need to connect this up. So we're going to go 3-lane one way. We're going to grab this. Let's go ahead and connect that up. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. Keep that 180, go just like that. And then we need to go into the replace tool. and just come in here and flip directions. Fantastic. Look at that. So we are now at a place where we can unpause again. We got all of our connections in, our electric, our roads. People are able to get in, and it looks like somewhere along the lines we disconnected our water and sewage. I think it's going to be this connection over here. Yeah. So we need to put in these roads again. So we'll come in over here. Let's grab this. We want this road to connect up. Fantastic. And I would like to get another connection in here. So let's see about bringing this out. I know it's going to kind of mess with our little vibe over here, but I think that this is going to be a good connection for us because it's going to kind of allow us to backfill some of this. Let's look at that. So it doesn't look great. Yeah, that's not bad. I wish it was straighter, definitely, but we're going to go ahead and leave that. I think now if we unpause, we should be pretty good. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So it's just because of our plants over here. And so one of the things I do want to do as well is connect up with this road. This is going to really help to provide us a nice clean connection. And so I think the first thing we're going to do is we can unpause again. Let's go ahead and grab our big road. I want to come all the way over here, and we are going to upgrade this going all the way down. Yeah, we're going to go just like that. And this is going to be a little bit tricky. This terrain is particularly kind of rough to deal with. So what I'm thinking is we're actually going to go into a tunnel. We'll go into a bridge, we'll level it out, and then we'll go into a tunnel branching off over here, which I think is actually going to be a pretty cool look for this area. The first thing we need to do though is draw this in. So we'll come in over here. Let's come across, and I don't really want it to go up too much. So if we go like this, then what we can do is begin to kind of tunnel this down now. And this is going to be a little tricky, but so if we go 180, so that's down 10 degrees. So I would rather it go just like that. This is going to be straight. Yeah, so look at that. Perfect. So that's going to go underground, and then we're going to come up over here, and then we should be able to just curve this in. Fantastic. Look at that. So that actually worked out really well. So we got a nice bridge going across our little river and the rail line, which is important. But then it provides this nice tunnel over here. I think we're going to end up putting in some residential. I think that's actually a really nice connection. What I would like to do is have this road continue on and actually provide freeway connectivity over here. And so we are going to unlock some squares. I don't think we're going to get too crazy with it. I think we'll, let's go ahead and just unlock all those. We have 33 squares available. It's not a huge deal, and we're probably going to hit our next milestone on this episode. And then let's go ahead and go into our big road now, and we're going to continue this on. And I want to kind of create a little bit of interest with this, and then we are going to curve it so that we can be more perpendicular with the highway. And then we're going to hit that page up button, and we're going to go across. Let's keep that 90 degree or that 180, and then let's go ahead and bring it up all the way over here, but then curve it. Yeah, I think that's going to provide a nice little look in there. And then we now need to create some freeway accessibility. So the first thing I like to do whenever doing this, I will come out here and figure out like my distance for it. So I think like right here is probably pretty good. So we'll go ahead, and you want to make sure that you put the merging lane on the outside. If you put it on the inside, you would ideally want your ramp to be on the inside, which is something you can do as well, but it's something you just want to pay attention to. So we'll come over here now, we'll go just like that, and then let's grab our ramp now. We'll bring this up. Let's go ahead and turn off toggling and then go up. So we'll go just like this, connect it up. I want it to be perpendicular. Then we are going to bring this down. And you know what? Something that I did in CS1 was to actually control this step. And I think it does provide a little bit more realistic of a look. So if we go just like this, let's go ahead and check that out. That looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and do the same thing on this side. We're going to grab this. Let's go ahead and go up just a smidge. And then we are going to bring this up now. Go just like that. Let's make sure that step's not too extreme. It's not bad. It definitely is a little bit higher than it would have been good to do, but I don't think it's the end of the world. So we'll go ahead and bring this all the way down, probably go just like that. And then we need to kind of change our direction on this. If we go just like that, what we can do is come into here. Perfect. Look at that. That actually looks pretty good. We definitely put these a little bit too close. I think we definitely put these ones a little too close. What I'm going to do is just fix that up a little bit. So I will grab this. I'm going to replace this road, and I want to turn on toggling so we can make sure that it is level. Go just like that. And then all I'm going to do is just move our ramp a little bit further back. And voila, just a few moments later, this definitely looks a lot better. And so another thing we can do to just help facilitate a little bit better movement in here is to create that right turn lane. And I like to I like to put the merging lane onto the right turn lane just because I feel like it's a little bit better. You're not going to have people backing up on this lane as much. And so I just think it's a little bit safer. I think it is something that you do see in cities as well. So we'll go ahead and go like that. Fantastic. We can go ahead and unpause and we'll begin to see the people utilizing this pretty quickly. So you'll see, so we got it all accurate. We got our big road coming down. We could probably even do like a roundabout in here somewhere. I think that could probably be good. We have a roundabout over there. But let's just check to see what our volume is on this now. So if we grab our road, we can see, so traffic volume, we're already, getting up there. Traffic flow is good. We got a couple trucks coming down. We can increase that speed. Let's just look at this real quick and see how many people start to use this intersection. So just in the few seconds we were watching, we are seeing a lot of people from this direction. And that's mainly because they would have to go all the way around. They'd have to come all the way up here, turn all the way down here. And so now we have provided a nice clean avenue for this. We're definitely going to have to be careful putting zoning on this road because this road is now an arterial. And so we would want to facilitate high speed movement of roads with of cars with this. So we're going to come in here. Let's go ahead and remove our light on that. Let's remove a light on this, remove light on that, remove light on this. We will keep a light here. And honestly, I would prefer it to be a roundabout, but I think, we'll keep it like that and we will see if we get some traffic in there. We'll just kind of play it out. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and move on to our development now. We've placed down our infrastructure. We got our new power plant, our new recycle center. And so let's start looking at this area. So I want to do something in here. I was originally thinking like some apartments in here. So we may not even do anything with this just yet. I think we will probably grab a bigger road. No, we do not need to do a bigger road there. So let's grab this. Let's go across. And I want to go just like this. And I would like to put our campus centered around this. I think it's going to provide us a nice little look in there. We definitely have to be careful of people taking this back avenue rather than our main arterial. People might end up congesting this area pretty quickly if we don't pay attention to it. So let's grab this now. We're going to come up over here. Let's go all the way to that rail line. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm thinking right here is going to be a good location for our college. So let's come in here. Let's look at it now. So if we go thinking like right here, let's check that out. So if we place that right there, we definitely want to do the college library because this is going to provide a bonus to the area. I'm guessing it does cost $50,000, which is kind of pricey. You know what? I think we're going to skip the library for right now. That $50,000 a month just seems like a lot. We're already paying a boatload for this. So $150,000 a month. We really need to pay attention to our budgets. This is definitely going to help out the city quite a bit though. So I think it was a good investment. The city's going to hold off on the library for right now. So we're going to go just like this, and we are on hilly terrain. And so we're definitely going to have a little bit of an issue with it going up and down. It's not something that I'm worried about though. So we're going to go just like this. We want to make sure that this doesn't mess up. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then let's do a small road around the outside of this. I want to do some parking. So we'll probably go just like this. And then let's put in some parking on this backside. Universities would definitely need a lot of parking. So now we'll go ahead and connect this up. And we may even, we're going to leave some room for future expansion because I feel like if we don't, we're definitely going to come back through and be like, man, we're not able to place the library. So a few things we want to do in this. We have demand for pretty much everything. We want to get some of our high density residential demand fulfilled, medium density and low density. But then we also want to get some office space in here. I don't think we're going to be messing with industrial too much. So I think what we'll do, let's go ahead and figure out our road layout first. Road layouts are very important. So let's grab this road and we're going to come all the way back. And ideally, I would like it to connect up with this road. So if we go like this, and then let's see if we can have this go down and connect that up. How does that look? Does that look terrible? That's actually not terrible. It's going into the tunnel and we have a little bit of a connection here. I like that you can see through the tunnels and I think that's fantastic. I played around with it for a bit and we got a little bit of a shadow there. So I decided to just keep it what it was. I'm going to go ahead and right click this though, and we're going to bring this down. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and right click this too, go like that. Let's go ahead and right click down here and bring that down. And then we can probably even do the same thing on this side. So I ended up doing the slope tool and it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of a bump in there, but you know what? I think it looks okay. I think this curve this little spike in here looks a little weird, but because of the shadows, we're just going to leave it like that. And the most important thing is that we got that connectivity in there, which is fantastic. So now we can come in here. Let's go ahead and bring this across. And we are going to do some low density residential back here. So I think we're going to bring this all the way back. We're going to use that small road because this is residential. And we will do the same thing on this side. And I'm leaving a little bit of a space in the middle for us to do some pathways or something like that. Maybe get a green belt in there. And we'll go just like that. Let's bring this down. Perfect. And then let's do the same thing in here. And I think we're going to leave a little bit of room for some commercial as well. I think that would be smart. So we'll go ahead and leave some of this section for some commercial uses, which I think would be a really good use of the space. So actually we're going to just do some pathways in there. So to kind of break this up a bit, we do want to have some roads come across. And what this does is a couple things. So it provides some accessibility, but it also provides a more pleasing visual appearance for the neighborhood. Makes it look a little bit more realistic rather than just having a bunch of straight lines. Like, wow, these are real big areas. So that actually looks pretty good. I like that we got these roads in here. We're going to do some high density uses down here. And then let's go ahead and make just a couple smaller connections in here. Come like this, and then I think we're going to grab this and go down. Perfect. That actually provides a nice little clean look in there. I like that a lot. And I think we'll go ahead and bring this down too. And there we go. So we provided another connection in there. I think that looks fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and finish up this road layout real quick. All right, so I think this is a pretty decent little road layout. You can see I made a few changes. So I ended up doing a couple of one-ways going down. This is going to really help us to kind of funnel traffic, and this may be something that we need to come back through and kind of readjust. I ended up changing the orientation of the grids a few times just to create some interest. As we come back through here and place in some more trees and everything, it's really going to help fill in some of these pockets. So I want to have a couple points of interest in here. I think we're going to end up doing some high density down here right by the college. This would be like your student housing and stuff like that. I want to do a couple big parks. We're definitely going to need to get some services in here. Our health coverage actually does do pretty good, but you can see our average health is taking a little bit of a dip. And a lot of that has to do with just the overall coverage of services. And so if we end up putting in another medical clinic up here, I think it's going to really kind of help us out a bit. We do need to place down the welfare office as well. And let's see what the coverage on this is. So the coverage is actually really good. So if we made an area in here and then probably an area in our downtown, I think we would ideally get full coverage of this residential area and our downtown, which is going to be super important. So I think that's actually going to be the first thing we place. I would like to place this in a good location. I'm looking at this one right here. I think that would be good. Maybe even over by our cemetery though too, because that could be kind of in the back a bit. Let's go back to that building. Let's see how it's going to look in here first, because I know it's going to mess up our terrain a bit. So let's place that right there. I don't think that's the best location. So let's come up over here. I'm looking at this like, man, if we could get it in here somewhere, this would just be fantastic. So if we move this, which way is the road? So the road's going to be on that side. So if we place this like right here, let's do that. Let's try to get it as far right as we can so that we can get some parking. If we could even get it up by this road, that would be fantastic. If we went right there, and then let's grab a road, right click out of that. Let's come up here. Let's go down, maybe even all the way down if we can. We don't want to mess up the key wall though. So if we go like that, let's check out our key wall. Yeah, it definitely messed it up. Let's change that. So we're gonna come back again. So that actually looked okay. So that looks good. It doesn't dip down as much. And then that way we can grab this, have it connect up right there. And then what I'm hoping for is enough space to be able to put in just some small parking. Yeah, this is going to be fantastic. Let's redraw this in real quick. So I want to do one more parking, and then let's come back through with our road. This is going to be tough. This is definitely going to be tough, but I think we can get it in there. And you know what? That looks pretty good. We definitely changed the curve a bit, but it still looks pretty good in here. And so now all we need to do is just place down some trees, fill in this space a bit. We'll probably go into a brush and just go like this. We could even dial that down a bit, and then let's pump it up. We want to do the Wow, we don't want to do spruces. We want to do pines. Yeah, we'll go just like that. And then we want to do the birches, since these are the ones that turn orange in the winter. Let's go ahead and move our satellite tower over there too, because I think this is going to be a little bit better of a location. Next to the welfare tower, I mean, is it the greatest? No, but we got to get it in there. Let's go ahead and check out that coverage too while we're at it. So we got good coverage over there. We're definitely going to need something back here. I wonder, let's go ahead and place it next to the university. Because then we could even say that that's, something that they're working on. Let's give it both the upgrades because we know it's got a pretty wide area. It doesn't even reach back there. I'm tempted to do the big one. It's just so much more expensive, $95,000 a month, but there's 3 miles of coverage and the speeds on it are just crazy. The speeds on it are so much better, but we're gonna leave that for another time. Let's go ahead and do just a small little road back here. I think we'll probably have this come up here and let's do our communication tower. Voila. We could even do, I would say a small parking lot, but honestly, I think that parking lot's going to be too big for what this uses. Let's upgrade that though. And then let's check that out again. Yeah, we're pretty good now, and we provided some good coverage over here too, which is awesome. Got our welfare office in there, and I think that looks fantastic. I really like that space a lot. And then let's put one over here somewhere. So I'm even thinking this space right here. Let's go ahead and check out the coverage on it though. So we have pretty good coverage over here, and we even have a little bit of coverage back there. So if we were to place this like right there, you can see that it would really complete the coverage. So if we go just like this, and then let's look and see, so there's no upgrades available, which is awesome. We don't have to worry about any expansions or anything that's needed. Go ahead and place this. We want it to be at a 90. Go just like that. Fantastic. And you know what? That actually looks pretty good, kind of. Man, you know what? No, this looks terrible. Yeah, that doesn't look great. We're going to need to rearrange that. Yeah, you know what? That looks a lot better. That looks way better. So we'll go just like that. Fantastic. I don't mind if there's like houses and stuff on the hills, but big buildings like this, I don't know. And then we'll probably do just a couple little offices in this space. I think that is a fantastic use. We definitely need to get some office spaces in here. Let's go ahead and do some offices back here too. And then let's put a small plaza in there just because if we go, no, plaza looks terrible. We're going to have to really keep an eye on this hill because I don't want to just plop a bunch of buildings down, and it's not going to look good if we do that. So now let's go ahead and do a little bit of a path network in here. I'm just going to go ahead and place them down in the middle, and then I definitely want to create some connectivity to farther places as well. So I'll probably have some paths kind of meander through here. We don't have a bike network yet, but we definitely want to encourage people to try to utilize our paths as much as possible. All right, so I finished all of the pathways, and I think this is a pretty good little network we have. We have some pathways that do cross over some of the bigger roads, and then I ended up doing the pathway coming down here, and it has a nice little retaining wall on this side, and then I turned it into a bridge going all the way across the water and connecting up with over here so that we could provide some really nice access for these people. And then I did end up doing like a green belt going all the way around and also connecting up down here to our little commercial district. And so I think this is going to be a really good addition for the area. I did end up upgrading some of the roads as well. I created this pathway here because I was kind of looking at the sunken road and I was like, what's the purpose of having this if we're not going to have any roads that go over it? And so I was like, you know what, we're going to connect up this industrial area with this area. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to upgrade some of these roads because I don't really want to put any low density right next to this road right here. I think that it would just kind of look weird if we had low density uses around this. So what we're going to do is put in some apartments, maybe even some row housing, and we're going to basically split this up into 2 sections. So we're going to do low density back here. We're going to do some high density mixed use, some apartment buildings, some row houses probably, and then we're going to end up putting some higher density uses over by the college as our student housing kind of deal. I do want to have a couple commercial centers as well, and then I think we're going to have to add in just a couple more services too. So our overall health, like I had said before, is at 63. So I think it would be really smart for us to add in something over here. So I think what we're going to do, I'm looking at this little space right here, and I think that this would actually be a really nice area. Let's put that right there, and let's see if we can put a small parking lot on the backside. And of course, it is just barely too small, but what we can do instead is maybe put a little park there. Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good addition because we are going to have to place some parks. So we got one park right there. I would like to get a bigger park rather than just kind of scattering a bunch of these small ones around. So let's try to identify. So we have our medical clinic. Let's see first before we move on to the parks if we do need a fire department. So we have one there. We have one there. We have a 26% risk. I feel like that's a little high, but this is also an additional 20,000 that we're going to have to kind of spend. So maybe we will put this right there. And then let's check our police coverage as well. So average crime probability, 3%. We're actually doing pretty good on police. I don't think we're going to end up placing that down. And we could put another bus station over here. I don't know if that's going to be entirely necessary. It would be nice to have over here though. So maybe let's just see how big it is. I think right next to the school, this would actually be a really good use of this area. So maybe let's place this right here. So we're going to slide this over one. Let's check out the cost of that first. So 56,000 a week. We got to really be careful of this. Once we expand though, we're going to start making a lot more money. And I think that's why I'm not really as worried about this. I think I do want to move this building though. I think that kind of just looks like an eyesore being right next to the bus depot. I think that looks good. And then let's go ahead and do a small commercial center around that. It's really good to turn your transit depots into commercial interests if you can, because it just kind of increases the probability that people use them if they're in close proximity to those centers. So we're going to go ahead and place these in. And I'm just going to go ahead and use the larger zoning styles for that. I'm not too worried about them all be the same. We'll come back through and fix them if we do end up having an issue like that. I think it would be nice to have some mixed use over here. And then what we can do is actually do like a little pathway in the middle. Actually, you know what? This is all up on a hill. So let's wait to see how this grows in, and then we'll come back and kind of check this out. So for this area, I want to get some apartments. We're going to go like that. You can kind of already see our medium demand has been taken up by this. So we really got to be careful of that. Let's go ahead and place a low rent housing right there. I think that's probably good. And then as our medium demand kind of comes in, we'll be able to fill in the rest of that. For our low density, we really don't have to worry about this as much. I would like to put it in the park though, like I had said. So it would be nice if we did a park that was more centralized to our residential area over here. So what I'm looking at this little area right here. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of these. So if we get rid of these pathways, and we'll come back through and we're going to fix a lot of these, but ideally what I would like to do is get a little sports park in here. Be really nice if we could get like maybe a football field or a soccer field or something like that. Something just really cool. So if we place that right there, and let's go ahead and do a community pool literally right behind that. And then what we'll do is leave a little bit of a space for us to do a pathway in there. Let's turn off snapping so we can get that in there. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Let's actually have that form a crosswalk right there. Let's go back to our parks and let's see. So we want to do tennis. We would prefer basketball. Basketball would be good. And then let's go ahead and do a skate park all the way in the back. I'm wondering if maybe we can so we'll do parking right there. Let's go ahead and do another road right here. We can actually get rid of the pathway, turn it into a road, and then we can put the skate park off of this. Yeah, we'll go like that. And then let's go ahead and check out our parking first before we get a little too far ahead of ourselves. So if we go like that, let's check that out. So we got some decent parking on this side. We definitely need to get some parking on the other side just to kind of complete the look. So if we go back to this area, let's see if we can fit two over here too. We can. Perfect. I think that is fantastic. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the look of parking lots, but especially in North America, city planning is revolved around cars. And so it's something that's just a necessary evil in our lives, I guess. It's definitely not in every city. Some cities are more walkable than others, but the predominant form of planning in North America is to be car dependent. So now that we have those, let's come in here and see if we can place a couple bigger parks. So yeah, let's go just like that. Fantastic. Look at that. That actually looks great. Right next to the skate park, we got this going. We got some parking. Let's maybe put in a couple smaller parks. So let's go like this and maybe put this in. Do we want to do that one? Yeah, you know, let's do the small plaza. Does that fit? You know, I think it's a nice addition. It is a little bit in the opposite direction of these other ones, but what we can do is take this pathway and connect it up, and I think it's really going to help us, especially once we get some trees to make that look a little bit better. And then what we could do, I'm not a huge fan of it. Let's see how it looks. We could do a little bit more parking. So let's go, you know what? I think that's actually a really good look right there. I like the look. It's a ton of parking, but these would be, like, especially with the soccer and the basketball and everything, you would need a ton of parking for this area. And then what we can do for this back section is actually maybe place a little dog park. I think that could be good. Yeah, go like that. Perfect. And then we can connect up our pathways. So we'll come all the way back here, have this connect up over here, because we want ideally for people to have enough space to be able to walk around, maybe walk their dog, come over here and study. Maybe you go to the college that's nearby. And I think that is probably a really good look, especially for our low density area. I like the overall look of that. That's awesome. And so now let's go in here and let's actually get out of this section so we can see what we're looking at. So we know we want to get a couple commercial centers first, because these are going to be super important for us. Let's go ahead and do right next to the park. I think that would be a nice addition, because this is going to be a point of interest already. I think it's going to be smart for us to keep those commercial next to it. And look at that, milestone 10, unlocked, small city. Great work. This is a major step forward. You are one step closer to greatness. Thank you, game. We have received 2.5 million simoleons. We've got 10 more development points and 15 expansion points. We really have a lot, which is crazy. So let's see what else we unlocked. We got high density offices, which is awesome. And we got a couple new policies. So we got high speed highways. So we can now have highways that, so it removes highway speed limits. Traffic flows faster, but noise pollution increases and traffic accidents are slightly more likely. So that's kind of like the Autobahn or something like in Germany. Combustion engine ban. Fuel burning vehicles are forbidden from entering unless they belong to district residents or businesses. This reduces noise and air pollution within the district. I like these. I like these little bans, especially for like master plan communities and stuff like that. City promotion. So this looks like it's an advertising campaign for tourism, which we're not really focusing on just yet. But I think those are good policies for us to have nonetheless. So now that we got this, let's go ahead and start placing down. So we got that little bit of commercial in there. I'm thinking maybe just a little bit of commercial on this side too. It would probably be good for us to do that. Let's go ahead and just go like this. And then let's see if we got a little pathway in there. We do. So now we have a couple little commercial centers. Let's place down some low density residential. Our demand for it is just outrageous right now. And so I think by us placing it down, getting it in there, it's going to really kind of help us out. We are going to have a little bit of an issue placing, like you see these really big squares. We're going to have to come in and kind of see what buildings those bring in. We may end up redoing that at some point because I'm not a huge fan of just blanket zoning, but in this instance, I think it's okay. And for these little bits right here, I think what we're going to do is place some small little commercial back there. I think that would be a nice little addition. And then we'll actually leave these empty. I don't really want to get those 2x2 zones in there. I don't think that is an appropriate match. And so on this hill, we are going to do low density. We're going to go all the way down, go just like this. And I think that is probably already good. You are kind of seeing we're getting a little bit of an issue over here. So I think we're probably going to stop with our low density just like that. And I actually like that it's building right on the hillside. I think that this is going to help capture a really cool look. We're going to have to kind of pay attention to that though. So what we're going to do is we're going to give the game just a second to kind of fill this in. We can see what it looks like, and then we'll start moving on to our high density uses. All right, and so I actually really like the look of this. I think that this looks cool. So I was kind of going back and forth on these homes right here. Like, yeah, it would kind of suck being so close to this intersection, but I think because it's going into this area, and I think this right here is like, look at that person's backyard. That is not great. I don't even know how they would get in these sheds. Like, look at that shed. It's floating. And look at their clothes. That is defying the law of physics right there. So what we're going to do, we're going to delete that poor guy, and we are actually going to come in here and remove that zoning. I think that looked terrible. And then what we can do is actually come in here and let's smoothen this out just a bit. We're going to grab that smooth terrain tool. We're going to go just like that, just tap it a bit. And you know what? That actually looks a little bit better. I like having the trees, the little grass right here. We can do some trees to kind of line that to make it look a little bit better. And so now let's move on to our higher density uses over here. I would like to get a couple high density buildings. We're not going to spam them. I just want to get a few. So I think what we'll do is let's go ahead and do one right there. Let's unpause. We're going to let that grow in. That should already tank most of our high density demand. And then what we'll do is we are going to come in here, and I don't really want them to be off of the main road here because it's just going to cause more congestion. So we're going to go just like that, just to force the zoning. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do apartments. And then let's get just a couple mixed use in here too. Go just like that. And then I think what we're going to do, let's go ahead and turn this one into a small little commercial center. I think that that's going to be much needed. And then we can do some more apartments over here. We could even do some row houses. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to get a transition going for the row houses. So maybe right here in the middle. So I think what we're going to do, yeah, we're going to go just like this. I think that that's going to be a nice addition for the area, kind of blend this in just a bit. You can see our low density demand is definitely conquering right now. So we're going to have to wait just a little bit for that. But what we can do is start looking at this little area. So I think we could even get some more low density in here. That could end up working. I know right here would probably be good. So because of this red right here, it's actually telling us that this is going to be really bad for low density because of the amount of traffic and noise and everything on here. So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and just do some more row houses, and then we will expand our office space in this area since we don't really have a whole lot of office space. So let's go ahead and go just like that, small little office center, and then we could do some more office in here. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, so we're going to turn this into a whole little office area. What that's going to do is help to buffer the transition between our big commercial center, our college, and all that into this area. Let's see what we're running into here. We just got 3 abandonments in a row, and it looks like all 3 of those are the same business, which could end up being the problem. You know, location is key. And so now that we have that, it definitely looks like our medium density is going to take a little bit to expand. And I think we're going to end up leaving some of this empty for right now. So what we need to do, we need to start focusing more on low density. What I want to do, we created this connection over here. Let's start expanding this area out just a bit to help alleviate some of the pressure over there. So what we're going to do is grab this and we're going to bring this all the way out, probably go just like that. And what I would like to do is get a small couplet in the middle, just like I did on the other side. I really like couplets. I think it provides a nice little like break in the system. And what we're going to do is actually have this curve. So we're going to go just like that. And then we're going to curve this up. And I wish I could get, yeah, if we go just like that, fantastic. And then we will grab our medium road, have this turn it a 90. And of course, it wants to give me problems. Come on, give me 90. There we go. Perfect. Go all the way up there. Fantastic. And then we will grab a couple small roads and have these just cut across. So I would like to get like even spacing for this. Let's go ahead and turn off our parallel roads. Let's go up. Let's first off look at the overall. So we have a 1200, we'll call it. We'll round it up to 1200. So we want to do maybe once every 300. That could be good. So let's get off at a 90. We'll go just like that. And then let's have this turn. We're going to come back and basically get rid of that first road that we did. So we'll go just like this. And then let's go ahead and come off another 300. And you know what? I actually really like the overall look of this. I think that this looks pretty good. I like that we actually kept those little roads in there. I think that that looks good. Now the goal for this, we're going to turn this mainly into a low density area. So what I would like to do is have these come in, and I'm going to leave 1 square of space on the opposite side. We're going to try to keep this at a 90. It's definitely messing up a little bit with the snapping. So we'll go just like that. And then we'll come in here and we are going to have this come across, connect up, and then we're going to have this one come across and do the same thing. We might even go just like this, have this connect up right there. And then what we can do is create a small little park in here, and we can come back through, do our pathways all the way around. And this is actually going to be a really nice touch for this because this is going to be more of like a master planned vibe. It's going to allow us to create a lot of these green belts that I think are going to look really cool. I like the use of green belts. And I'm not worried about these double crosses. This is going to be a really low traffic area. And so by allowing that crosswalk in there, it's not really going to hurt us a whole lot. Come in here, go all the way around. And I think I may even remove that one, yeah. And so this is gonna really help out our area a lot. All right, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to replicate this for this section, this section, this section, this section, and I think these 2 sections. We may even leave a couple little squares in here. And so I'm gonna go ahead and get that done real quick. Okay, so here is our residential. I ended up filling in a little bit more than what I had initially planned, but basically I decided to do the green belt going all the way around. And I think this design actually looks pretty good. This is definitely more of like a master plan community. I even made like a little shopping center in here with a parking lot and some low density. And then I had our path kind of curve around because I want to come through here and put in some more trees and really fill this in, turn this into a nice area. people to kind of be walking around and everything. And then I think we are actually going to keep this for a future use, possibly a school or something as the city expands. Like as we expand all this out, I think that this location is going to be really good for us. And then I think we're going to end up turning this into just a larger commercial area or even like an office area. Office area could be good. So like if we were to grab our road, let's go ahead and bring this. And then what we can do, we will have our path go all the way around. And we're going to have this turn into an office park on the inside. Yeah, I think that this is going to be good. So if we go just like that, what we can do is come back through here, assign those, and then what we can do is just have our path kind of meander around through here, make it look good. Maybe this is going to be a little park area. We could probably even put in a small park in this corner. Yeah, I think that's a good use. Especially, I mean, there's offices right there. We're going to come through and probably do some pathways meandering through here rather than these squares. I don't think that looks pretty good. And then we'll probably have a pathway or some other mixed use kind of going down the middle. But we can come all the way up over here now. Our demand has re-emerged. And what we can do, I want to do some apartments. Remember, this is student housing. And then let's actually do one high-rise office. We're going to go just like that. And then let's do one high-rise residential. And then we'll have that right next to some apartments. And then let's go ahead and do, where's our commercial? So our commercial zone's already right there. We've got a couple high rises. We've got a couple high rises coming in here. I'm thinking that this area is probably just going to be best for some more apartments. So if we go just like that, I don't really want them to be on that curve. I'd rather them be on these edges. I think it's just going to look a little bit better. We're leaving this space empty. Let's go ahead and do some more office in here. Our office demand is pretty high. So if we go just like that, I think that that's going to be another nice addition. We're going to leave these empty for right now because we don't really know just yet what we're going to utilize them for. I think this space in here is going to be good for some more row houses. Yeah, I think that'll be good. And then we can come over here. Let's do some apartments. And then let's do some row houses. Have them curve all the way around. I think that right there is probably going to be good. But we can always come back through here and kind of change this up. That's one of the beauties of this game is you can kind of play around with different ideas. And if you decide later on, like, no, I don't really like the look of that, we can always go back. And our medium density has collapsed again. But what is coming in is, so we have our one high density building, and I think that this looks awesome. Let's go ahead and check that out. So actually, because it's right next to the college, we're already in a high density area. I think that this is a nice addition. I really like the difference between the apartments and having that one really tall building too. And then having our row houses in here kind of blend into our apartment district over here, I think is really nice. I like this whole build. I think this is a really cool build. And one of the things I wanted to show you guys, we're starting to make money again, and we're actually making quite a bit of money. And a lot of this comes from the expansion of our garbage services. So if we go all the way down, we have garbage fees of $270,000 now, service trade. So we're no longer paying for electricity. We're not having struggles with garbage. You can see we're making $600,000, $700,000 a month or a week just from garbage alone, and then education fees as well. So now we're making about $300,000. But because we expanded out our offices, we've now kind of developed our supply chain a little bit better. So if we come into production, we can go all the way down to our material goods and our immaterial, which is more what our offices do. And we are starting to build quite a bit of this. So we got software going out. We have services, media services. We have like entertainment, maybe YouTubers, stuff like that, financial services. And these are all in surplus now. And so our city is making money from the export of those. And I'm actually really excited. I think that this is pretty good. We do have some pop-ups coming in. We definitely have some problems that we're probably going to have to assess on this next episode. Let's look at our crime, because it looks like maybe this is a little bit of a yellow spot right there. We might need to add in a police station. Remember when we first started, I had said maybe we don't, but you know what? I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking a police station is probably going to be good. So maybe let's get rid of this little pathway in here and let's see if we can slide in a police station right there. And then let's actually put a small parking lot right next to that. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And then it probably would be good for us to come through and actually put in some parking, just kind of scattered around. It would make it look, I guess, a little bit more realistic. I'm not a huge fan of having a ton of parking, but especially for these higher density areas, it is something that you would need to pay attention to. But I think this looks good. We're definitely having some traffic issues right here. I wonder what we can, I think we can just get rid of this street light. Just go ahead and tap that. Let's see how many people are turning left. You know what we're going to do? We are actually going to remove the left turn off of that. Yeah, that is going to be much better. Just by removing that left turn, we are already in a much better spot now. We are still having a little bit of a bottleneck here, but this intersection can handle that volume a little bit better. Let's go ahead and remove the zoning off the light from this intersection, remove from that intersection. Because this is high density, we're definitely going to have a little bit of congestion already, and that's just a necessary evil whenever you're dealing with high density. But we want to make sure that it's not bottlenecking in any of these areas. So now let's go back to our police coverage and see what we're working with. So it looks like this area is already working pretty good. We have a lot of police cars out there. I think this is pretty good. We actually did quite a bit on this episode. Now all that's really left is for me to come back through here, kind of pretty this up a little bit, fill in some of these areas with trees. I really want to get some trees going past our green paths. I want to make this area look a little bit better with our welfare office. And we really have a lot of opportunities for growth. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump into a detailing time lapse. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will catch you on the other side. All right, and just a few moments later, we are done. And to be entirely honest, I really didn't do too much in terms of detailing. I did add in a ton of our pines and birch trees because those are the trees that are native to this map. And you can kind of see even with this, the contrast. I really like there to be a lot of trees, especially in the real city of Tampere, if that's how you pronounce it. It is densely forested. And so I really want to try to capture that, and that's why I end up placing all these down. You do need to wait for them to grow, sadly, but it doesn't take too long. I mean, it's within a year, they get pretty full grown. Like you can see a lot of these were fresh ones that I'd planted, and this is really dense, but ideally that's what I like the maps to look like for this. It just makes it look a little bit better. I did add in some bushes and stuff for our little park area in here, just because I felt like it was going to clean it up a little bit more. I did some bushes following some of these pathways, and then kind of just put in some trees, like scattered them around a bit. And then I did add in a few more parking lots. So I added in some over here. I also added in one over here, just to kind of, and one right here, as well as a crematorium. We really wanted to create some more parking. Parking is pretty important in this game. I did also add in another one over here, and I put in our bus lines. So I really only put in 3 bus lines. I had a bus line go all the way around, and then I just had it go all the way around the opposite direction. And then I did a bus line from here all the way to our other station. I felt like it was just going to be a really good addition. Honestly, we may even do a bus line that comes down here and kind of loops around. I think that would probably be smart. We can actually do that real quick. So I'll come down here and we'll go into bus stop signs. And basically we want this to come down, follow this red line, and we're going to have it probably share stops with that. And then we'll have it come all the way down here and loop around. Yeah, I think that this is going to be good. Ideally, it's not great that we have stops on this road, but it's really going to help us to alleviate some of this traffic. So we're going to come up here, and then we'll end up probably turning, connecting up with this stop, and then finishing. We could have it go the opposite direction. I don't know if it's going to be entirely necessary, but if this does end up ballooning in service, then it may be something that we want to try to figure out. So we'll have this come down here now, and we will connect up, and then go to all of our new stops all the way around the outside. This is really going to be good coverage for this low density housing in here, which I think is going to be fantastic. So we'll go like this, Fantastic. Come all the way down, and then we want it to turn right here, connect up, and then let's just have it complete. I think that's probably a pretty good route right there, and we'll kind of see, we'll gauge it. I did end up having to put in another bus depot too. I kind of forgot. I had upgraded this one, and I was like, you know what? If we ever do finish our river area right here, we're going to kind of want to be able to use some of this because I would like to expand this out to the other side eventually as we start playing around with this area a little bit more. We didn't really work on that too much this episode. I was kind of hoping that we were going to, but we didn't. But go ahead and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, you will definitely enjoy the episode on your screen, and I will catch you guys on the next one.